Holy cow. Today is the day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful day up here in New England. I don't know if you can see this. It's coming up to the garage door, and I've already been out once today. That's the sad thing. I've already brushed this car off once, and there is more snow on it now than there was before. Unfortunately, my jacket and my snow brush are inside the car, so let's see if I can get in here without fucking everything up. Please, please, please. All right, not bad, not bad. Can I reach my jacket? I think I can. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Get a little bit of that, a little bit of this. All right. I'm thinking snow brush time lapse. What do you guys think? Should we do it? I think we should. Cold start time. Ooh, 666 miles. That's rather pleasant. 31 degrees. Not bad. It's been colder. All right. I'm gonna let this warm up, and I'm gonna see who I can get to go with today, because you already know this is the day that every Subaru driver has been waiting for. It's drift time. It's now about 5:30ish. Unfortunately, I didn't capture any drifting content. I didn't have the dash mount for the GoPro in my car, and everybody that I was gonna have go with to film and get exterior shots and all that was busy or working. So I don't have anything, sorry. I know we're expecting another storm though, so stick around for that if you want to see that. But right now, I'm working on this EJ251 manifold. EJ251 is a NA 2.5 liter in Subaru Forester, an Impreza, earlier Impreza, and I believe some Outbacks. So yeah, pretty universal manifold. It can go in a lot of different vehicles. It'll fit just about every car that I've ever owned so far. But I had it laying around, and I wanted to experiment further because the other night, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. I don't think it was on the channel's Instagram though. I did this alternator shroud. Not actually cob shroud. What I did was I laid down this metal cast base coat and this purple clear coat. I thought it was more of a spray paint, but really it's like a tinted clear coat. So, put several coats of that down, finally got it thick enough to look like metallic paint, and I put a cob decal under the base coat before I started. I just peeled that up to keep the brushed aluminum look for the logo. I think it looks pretty good. I like it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all the fuel lines, the injectors, the fuel rails, all this stuff off of this intake manifold. I'm going to clean it all up because, as you can see, if I can get some light over here, it is so just gross and covered in dirt and dust. I mean, look at that. That's a fingerprint right there. That's gross. So I'm going to get that all cleaned up, and then I found this at the parts store. It looks kind of gold under this light, but really it's like a burnt orange. It's like a copper rust color, whatever you want to call it. I think that'll look badass on this manifold. So I'm going to clean this up, get it prepped, and lay a coat of this down. So I'll get back to you when I make some headway on this. Quick little in-between clip. That big mound right there is all dirt just brushed off of that manifold. Haven't scrubbed it yet, haven't done anything. Like, it doesn't really, this fisheye lens really doesn't do it justice. Like, that's a lot of dirt, dude. Still making progress. Still gotta get the lines off. I got one of the regulator pieces off. It's all held together by hoses. You have to take off these. They're a pain in the ass because they're so old and stiff now. These hoses here, you gotta take those off in various places around the manifold to get the fuel lines to come out. So I'm working on that. Alright, day 3. I didn't end up doing much last night either after I left off the last clip. But it's currently 3 in the morning, and I just got all of the fuel lines off along with the injectors. So the manifold is now naked. It's perfect, ready to go. I have a lot of cleaning to do, a lot of wire brushing, scrubbing, and everything and all that. Get it all nice and shiny and prepped for paint. The mating surfaces aren't too bad. Just take a razor blade over those, I suppose. I do need to find a way to clean the inside of the manifold, because I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's kind of gross. Pretty black in there. You can see better through the throttle body, actually. So get a good angle. Yeah, it's just, it ain't pretty. So I'm gonna research a couple ways to clean that up, and should be good to go. Well, 4:30 in the morning, we're still cranking on this project. I have about half of it wire brushed already. This is the underside I'm working on right now. I'm still gonna have to brake clean things and scrub it again, but for just the wire brush, the big one on the big surfaces, this one in small crevices like this, it's coming out pretty well, I must say. Flip it over here. I mean, this side alone versus, and that was the bad side. This side was the cleaner side, but that versus this, world of difference. So I'll update when it's completely cleaned up, at least as far as the wire brushing goes, and then phase 2 will be brake clean. Might go to bed before that, but that'll probably be sometime around 6 in the morning. If I go to bed at all, might not. Might just stay up and call it good. We'll see. It's currently 5 a.m. I've brake cleaned the exterior of the manifold. I've brake cleaned the interior. The inside still needs to be cleaned a little more. I'm going to have to look into that tomorrow, but as far as the exterior goes, this is probably about as clean as I'm going to get it. It still looks kind of dirty in some areas, but that's about the best that I can do. I think I'm gonna call it a night right now. I'm gonna go to bed, get a little bit of sleep, and tomorrow I'm gonna hopefully plug all the holes and lay down a base coat. So that should be in about 10 seconds for you guys. So here we go. All right, slept a little longer than I wanted to. Got a couple things done. Did some laundry, typical yada yada. But the manifold is all taped up now. Throttle body, the mating surfaces down below, right there, are taped up. All the nozzles and nipples and every odd and end on this that I want to keep clean is taped up. The map port's taped up, and I put tin foil in the injector ports. I've seen people do that before. Supposedly it works really well, so I guess we'll see. But it's ready now for the first base coat before we get started painting. So let's throw that on there and see how she looks. I just finished laying down the last coat of the base coat, and it's looking really good. Like, this looks like a brand new manifold. At first I was a little tempted to leave it just like this because it looks so clean and fresh, but it's going to look even better with that paint on it. So let's get that first coat of metallic on, and I'll see you in a second. I just laid down what should be the final coat of paint. I'm gonna go, once this coat dries, I'm gonna go over everything once more and look for any little areas that I might have missed. But I've spun it around and around after every coat, after it dries, looking for areas that I haven't gotten to yet, and I think I've pretty much gotten it from all angles. But it's coming out great. I'm really stoked with how this looks. I'll get a better picture in the daylight tomorrow. Like, these lights are great, but not the best for camera lighting. They make it look a little brighter than it is, a little more gold tone, kind of like it does to the can. But it looks great. Good coverage, thick coats. It looks fantastic. I'm really happy with this. So up next will be clear coat. And just like that, it is done. With the exception of the mating surfaces on the bottom, everything is untaped. A couple blemishes here and there from flipping it over during paint, like that and that, but you're not going to notice those really because there's going to be fuel lines and everything back on going around this, on whatever this ends up going on. But the injector ports were, what's the word? They were masked properly, that they had no paint or overspray got in there at all. I'm super stoked about that. I wasn't sure how well that would work. The tinfoil works really well, so that's really cool. Throttle body surface is clean. The map port is clean. All these little nipples and nubs and whatever the hell you want to call these are all clean. I am going to assume the mating surfaces will be too, because it's the same concept. Did the same exact thing I did to that. So I'm stoked. I'm gonna let this dry overnight. The last coat of clear coat's on and the majority of the tape is off, so I'm gonna let it sit under these lights and heat up. I'm gonna close the garage door actually. Let it stay warm, dry up, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow under daylight and see how she looks. All right, so it's the next day. Everything's done. The manifold is painted, it's cleared, it's dried, everything's good. And I wanted to show it in the daylight once that was all done, like I said. So I figured what better way than to try and envision it in the engine bay. Cheesy, I know, but if you can picture, this looked identical to that before. So this would be a major improvement once this is all put together. But no, I think it looks great. This is going to be awesome whenever I decide to put this in, and that'll be a video of itself whenever, if it goes in this car or in another car, we'll figure that out. So I'm super happy with this. Hopefully you guys are too. Thanks for watching.